Welcome back, everybody, to the Dragon King Entertainment Channel with me, your host, Geeky Bear, with Dragon King as the co-host. We are reviewing Season 2, Episode 9, The Love God.
Your hair, for some reason, looks like Henry Cavill in Argyle.
Don't talk to me about that. I didn't even realise it's Henry Cavill.
Oh, for fuck's sake. But yes, our last one for our batch today of recordings. It's a bit of a... It's my least favourite one, I'll say, today.
Oh, definitely. I am agreeing with you with that.
I'd put it in the same category as the Dipper versus Manliness episode.
Like,
see, don't get me wrong. It's an interesting idea. The idea of obviously someone meddling with someone's emotions with
they didn't need it,
magic. But the thing is, though, it's continuing. Obviously, last episode continued a plot that was an actual decent episode, the time travel episode.
Yeah.
This one is continuing a romance angle that I don't really give a shit about, which is the Robbie romances.
Robbie. Yeah, I'm the same.
I generally don't give a crap about that angle. The only time it actually got handled decently was obviously the fucking karate episode. That was it, the Fighter one. Whereas this is good.
Yeah.
It ended. The romance is over. It's done. It got ended in season 1.
Yeah.
And yet they've gone back to it for this episode, and it's just like, did you need to go back to it? It's just, it's like there's this random fucking love god. And it's like, okay, what the fuck? Can you explain to me where this fucking love god's come from? Like, he generally can fly and everything. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't do anything with this character. It brings a character in. It's like, oh, he can make people like love and make animals love each other.
Like, it would be better if the potions were actually connected to the book.
That's my problem with a lot of these filler ones. Though some of them are pretty good. I would like the idea. See, again, don't get me wrong, there was shit on the Dipper versus Manliness episode a bit. That still got credit because it actually had something to do with the book.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Minotaurs. I would like with these filler episodes if they were actually based on a page in a book.
Yeah.
So, not just a random subplot of just a love god. Like, that. If that was something to do with it in the book, like, there's this magical being that comes to town every now and again. Yeah. Then, okay, fair enough. I'd put my hands up and say, okay, fair enough. It's actually followed on from something in the book. But it doesn't. It's just a random character they bring in and don't even actually do any explaining about it. It's like, it can make people fall in love, it can take love away. Obviously, then it's just Mabel stealing his love. Then it's just Mabel stealing his potions and using it. And it's just like, you probably could have handled a chunk of this plot actually explaining this guy, explaining who he is, rather than just introduce him and then that's it. Exactly. I feel like they could have done some explaining on this character, like, and as you say, link it to the book.
If they was going to do like a romance angle, I would have preferred it. Sounds stupid, but either with the potential romance between Candy and Dipper or Veronica.
But yes, I get what you're saying.
Her name's Veronica. I don't know why.
If you're doing a love angle, at least do it with characters you actually give a shit about. They're literally using Robbie, who is like one of the worst characters in this show.
Yeah.
And then basically the one friend that doesn't really speak.
Yeah. And it's
just like, out of all the characters to choose for this plot line, you're choosing these two. I get the idea they're the ones that you don't really hear too much about. So I get the idea that that's why Mabel would see them as the least happy ones of the group. Because the others are always laughing and joking. So I can understand that. That makes sense. But I just think it was a wrong choice of characters for this plot.
Yeah, I agree.
And they could have actually explained a bit more within the plot for this love god. As you say, they could have done something with the fact that he could have not been a god. He could have just been like a normal guy. Like, ignore the flying wings. That could have just been like part of the character. Yeah, just his outfit. But the potions, they could have done it. So, like obviously the anthology one this season, where it was mushrooms that basically give you special brain powers, make you smart. They could have done something where in the book, these potions are made from stuff that you can find within this book.
Yeah,
like, you open the book and it's like there's a field of flowers that if you crush them down enough, you can make love potions. Like that would tie it actually back to the book and not just wait. There's a god. Like what? He's gone. Okay, they could have literally tied it heavily to the book and they just didn't.
I do understand why they're bringing Robbie back in because he is part of the circle. But I mean, yeah, it could have been so much better with different characters. And as we've said it before, linking it to the actual book itself.
Exactly. They could have. I say if even if they're the same character and there's linked to the book, it still would have been a bit more tolerable because it's it's not fully random. Like there's actually something related to the book. I say even these random ones, like the fucking the anthology one, there's always something at least that does link it to the book.
Yeah.
Or the weirdness of this town. Like I say, the bottomless pit one, it's the idea of there's a bottomless pit.
Yeah.
There's definitely probably going to be something in the book about a bottomless pit. Whereas the Love God, not really. You can probably say there's nothing in that book about him. He's just someone who's come to town. It's like you could literally just explain this a lot more. And so I definitely would say it's probably one of my least favorite episodes.
Yeah, I agree.
There's just so many ways they could have handled this kind of plot a lot better than it was. Don't get me wrong, it's still good. It's Gravity Falls. It's still got the Gravity Falls charm to it. Like the whole them bullying that one character constantly. Like, and the whole point the group's together is because they're able to bully him. Like, and he's like, I've worked too hard to get into this groove. I'm not letting this get out of me grasp right now.
Yeah.
Like that's quite funny. That's quite humorous. Like the whole thing of even at the end when obviously he's getting beaten up by security, they're like, "Hey, look, what's he doing over there? Oh yeah, go man!" Like that's quite funny. That's quite humorous. That is really good. And obviously then you got the fucking the Grunkle Stan and obviously Zeus plot of basically trying to make a balloon after Grunkle Stan tried to shoot him down with crossbows, and then he kind of ruins it and it makes a giant balloon that says "Eat children." And basically, it almost Attack on Titan style like looms over everyone. That's really funny. That's the Gravity Falls charm. Yeah. And yet, the weirdness of the Love God is still in the caliber of Gravity Falls. It's just
it's a bit too late to introduce them.
Yes, and also the fact that, as we said, we don't really give a shit about Robbie.
Yeah,
and it's just. Oh.
Like, if they had cameoed him in between, like, every episode where Mabel's had a crush.
Because obviously that's a big part of this, is going, again, just like the Blind Eye one, going back to summer crushes. Because we actually get references to them constantly through, obviously, this love potion, like, mirage. But, I mean, I even said to you, you even see at least two of the boy band clones hiding behind bins, getting scraps, because obviously they ran off to do shit like that. Like, that's really good throwback references. And as you say, maybe if they put Robbie in actual plots before, no, I'm not counting young Robbie. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Older Robbie. Because, I mean, realistically, when was the last time we saw older Robbie? Was it when they broke up?
Think so.
Was it the record episode?
We saw it in the Society of the Blind Eye.
I wouldn't again. I'm not going to count that because that was just that wasn't like anything. That was just them finding the memory, and going, "Oh, let's have a look at this." But like actual, like him interacting properly with characters. Would you, off the top of your head, do you think it was the record episode?
I think so, which was in season 1.
Exactly. So we're currently 9 episodes into season 2, and we haven't really seen him since then. Yeah. Which I don't know which episode that was off the top of my head. So at least if you're going to bring him back, you need to make references throughout that he's still in this. Because, I mean, the first time you see him, I mean, the start of the episode's good, and they do a really good tease before the credits, opening credits of them going, ah! And then it obviously is just Robbie in the grave. But they could have done references to him being in this slump before now.
The last episode that we saw him was in episode 17 of season 1, Boy Crazy.
Exactly, that's like, no, I mean, that's so many episodes back down the line.
Yeah.
So they should have at least brought him back maybe once or twice, maybe still standing there staring at Wendy, being like, oh. And then it would have been a bit, it would have still been okay, because I still think that an episode focused on him is just a shit idea. But I just feel like you could have still probably brought him back, but it's not as a central focus for this plot.
Yeah.
Like, he still could have brought him back, had him still in the slump, and then just had, like, someone else dealing with this love potion plot. It's definitely, I think, the weakest Gravity Falls episode.
Yeah.
For me, personally.
I agree.
What'd you give it?
7.9. No,
Jack.
that's a bit too low. 8.1.
8.1. So you're going one above the Gobblewalker one.
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to give this an actual 8. Bang on 8.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this my lowest rating I've given yet. That is it for this episode. Join us next time for episode 10, which is, Alex?
Northwest Mansion Mystery.
A much better episode, I remember.
Yeah.
So yes, obviously you can like and subscribe. That would be very helpful to us. It means that we can, carry on these knowing that people are actually watching.
Yeah.
And enjoying to an extent. Even if we're slightly shitting on an episode while also kind of not shitting on it because we still give it a decent rating.
That's just because of how messed up our ratings are.
Yeah, I think we kind of fucked ourselves in the foot, didn't we, really?
Yes, we're literally limited,
We've limited ourselves between 8 and 10.
8 is our 0.
We're not backtracking now. But yes, obviously, we've done many Gravity Falls episodes up to now. We've got the entire season 1 that you can check out, and obviously up to episode 9 of season 2. We've also got Pokemon reviews if you're not into Gravity Falls. As Alex always says, if you're not into Gravity Falls, what the fuck are you doing here in the first place?
I don't understand what.
Yeah, but I up the ante a bit more for it. But yes, we also have Pokemon reviews. We have DC movie reviews. We got the Dragon Prince and a few other random ones here and there. We also have gaming videos. Raft is one of our longest ones, which was a lot of fun. And then It Takes Two and A Day Out were very, bonding type games. Not bondage before you start getting into that weird kinky territory, Alex.
I would never. I am a good Christian boy.
Is that when you put the ball gag right back down? Whoop.
Damn it, you saw that then.
So yes, there's also those content you can check out while you wait for the next episode. And yeah, that pretty much covers everything. So we hope you enjoyed and hopefully see you next time. Goodbye.
See ya.
If you like what you've seen, don't be afraid to throw us a little like and subscribe. That's always very appreciated over here. And, well, I'll see you on the next video.